Question for both. It says, I recently gave a survey at the high school I work at regarding LGBT issues. An overwhelmingly large percent said that it was students, not teachers, who stepped in when anti-LGBT slurs were heard. Teachers were reported to more or less turn their heads due to not wanting to address the issue. Do you feel adding the enumerated class of LGBT to anti-bullying laws would help address this? And there's a related question, I think, that says, what about students who are bullied in front of an anti-gay staff member? What protections exist for that student to take that further? So,
I'll answer first.
Yes. Yes, I think so. I think that this actually does do that. Yes, we're going to find cases, and like we said, anecdotally, you're going to find problems that run over. There's teachers out there that don't want to talk about LGBT, they don't want to talk about homophobia, because they just don't want to touch it. But there are some teachers out there that are willing to talk about it and are scared to because they're afraid that they could be fired because they're perceived to be gay. That's really scary, that we live in a society where a teacher can be fired for being gay or perceived that they're promoting the gay agenda. It's real interesting in my job that the people sort of like that talk about this on the state level and they use the words like the gay agenda, and I'm thinking to myself, like, wow. They also put together a video, a conference, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, back in 2007, and they had this discussion, they were talking about this issue, and they said that the Safe Schools issue was totally part of the gay agenda, but not only that, that Title IX was actually part of the gay agenda as well, because the promotion of girls' sports was actually promotion of lesbian behavior. And I find that really interesting that they know about what the gay agenda is. And I don't know what the gay agenda is. So, yes.
Well, I would say this is where those lawsuits come in very handy. I think if you have a student who's being bullied, whether it's because they are gay or because of any other reason, and school personnel is turning a blind eye to it, and you have plenty of other students stepping up to the plate trying to deal with it on their own, then you've got plenty of evidence that you could make a lot of money, and every school district in the state would move. But I'm also seeing social lines in our culture moving more in this direction. Obviously, Morgan doesn't agree with that. You can see his head shaking.
I was trying to say yes. I mean,
but I do believe social lines are moving in that direction, and towards Morgan's position, as far as teachers that I believe are getting a more rounded education and being prepared to deal with these kinds of things as they're getting their certifications, whereas a generation ago that wasn't being addressed in the colleges, universities, preparing our teachers. So I do believe the social lines are moving, but again, I don't see where that necessitates creating enumerations that leave some students unenumerated and leaves loopholes in the policies. I don't think that is a good answer to the problem. And I think until we can get society where it needs to be, in some school districts where there's some bigoted attitudes that predominate in a given teacher's mind, or even in the entire school system, that until we get there, we've already talked about it, go in and talk to that school board about the potential, or have your lawyer write them a letter. I think you'll see a lot of movement when they want to protect their budget.